In the diagram below, find the bearing of point P, Q, R, and T from point O. So this is the point O here. This is center here, which is O. So we are going to find the bearing of points P, Q, R, and T from point O, which is the origin. Now, let me try to lecture a little bit about this bearing problem. This is a three-figure bearing. We have the compass bearing and we have the three-figure bearing. But nowadays, when we talk about bearing, we always think about what? The three-figure bearing. And in three-figure bearing, there are three important things that you need to understand, that you need to remember in order to solve three-figure bearing. Now, the first thing is what? The bearing is measured in what? In degree. That is the angle. It is measured in degree. Another thing is why you should always start from the geographic north. Geographic north coming clockwise direction. Clockwise direction. In bearing calculation, you should always start from the three. Let me say the geographic north. That is a three-figure bearing. And the last one is make sure that the digits should be what? 3. If the digits will be 2, make sure you attach what? Another 0 to it. If you have one digit, you attach 2 0 to it so that you can be able to have a three figure. This is the reason why we call this type of bearing three-figure bearing. So when you're expressing it, you have to express it in three-figure form, or else you'll be wrong. So let's look at this problem. We have here, this is point P, this is point Q, this is point R, this is point T. They are all derived from this origin, which is what? O. So we are going to find the bearing of P from O. So beginning with the geographic north, like I said, when you are beginning with the geographic north, we say from here, from this point here, is the bearing of P from O. So we have, this is the first quadrant, and in this Cartesian plane, the angle there is what? 90 degree, which is a right angle. So since it is coming after this P, it means that we are going to want to subtract this amount from the 90 degree. So we will now say here that the bearing of P from O is, so we can now say here 90 degree minus 52 degree. So when you subtract 52 from this 90, you have 38 degree. So this is the bearing. This is the bearing of P from O here. So this is the first answer. Now the next one again, we are going to find the bearing of Q from O. So we know that straight line measure 180 degree. So it is coming after this Q, and the rule says we should always start from the geographic north. So we can say the bearing of Q from O is, so since straight line measure 180 degree, we say 180 degree minus. So it should be from here, from this point to this point. So we say 180 minus 64 degree. And when you subtract 64 from this 180, you will have 116 degree. 116 degree will be the bearing of Q from O. Then the next one is R. The bearing of R from O here. So since it is coming before this arrow here, it means that we now add this 48 to the 180, because straight line measure 180 degree, and we have additional 48 degree from soft to what? To arrow here. So this 48 plus the 180. So we can say the bearing of arrow from O is 180 degree plus 048 degree. So when you add this, you have 8, you have 2, and you have 2 here. So you have 228 degree here. 048 degree plus 180 degree. So the next one is this 70 degree. You can do that and drop your answer in the comment section. So it is a bearing of T from O here. So and you know the distance from the angle between W and that of T to point T is about 70 degree. And remember, we always start the bearing calculation from the geographic north or going in a clockwise direction. So start from the geographic north and coming here, let us know what will be the bearing from the bearing of T from what? O. So you can drop that in the comment section. I want to say thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to share.